Hello, welcome to the Learn American English channel, where you learn naturally so you can speak naturally. In this video, we are going to listen to conversations about different travel hacks. This video is divided into two parts where the characters ask for travel hacks from a friend and share travel hacks with a coworker. There will be a listening comprehension quiz at the end of each scene. So, listen carefully and see if you get all of the questions right. Also, be sure to stay with us until the end of the video. We'll point out important words from the conversations, everyday slang, and the most common way to say things in English. Watch for these words and phrases in the subtitles. You'll find their meanings in the vocabulary section in the last part of the video. Are you excited? This should be fun. First, let's listen to a conversation between Lucia and Rose as Lucia asks for some travel hacks from Rose. Let's see how their conversation goes, and don't forget to note the highlighted words for their meanings at the end of this video. Let's dive in.
Hey Rose, I've been meaning to ask you for some travel tips. You always seem to have the best hacks.
Oh, absolutely. I'd love to share. What are you planning for your next trip?
I'm thinking of going to Europe next month. I've got some places in mind, but I'm a bit overwhelmed by the details.
That sounds amazing. Europe is full of surprises. Let's start with something simple. Have you heard of packing cubes?
I've heard of them but never used them. What's so special about them?
Packing cubes are lifesavers. They help you organize your clothes and keep everything compact. You can even use different cubes for different types of clothing. One for tops, one for pants, and so on.
That sounds really helpful. I always end up with a messy suitcase.
Definitely. And another trick, roll your clothes instead of folding them. It saves space and reduces wrinkles.
Rolling clothes? I've never tried that. I'll give it a go. What about keeping documents safe?
Good question. I use a travel wallet. It keeps my passport, tickets, and other important documents in one place. Also, having digital copies of everything is a good backup in case you lose anything.
That's smart. What about money? I'm always worried about carrying cash and cards.
Use a money belt or an anti-theft bag. They're secure and can be hidden under your clothes. For cash, keep a small amount in your wallet and the rest in a safe place.
Great idea. I'll look into those. How do you handle different currencies?
I use a currency converter app on my phone. It's handy for quick calculations. And I always try to use local ATMs for the best exchange rates.
I'll definitely download one of those apps. What about finding good places to eat? I don't want to end up in tourist traps.
I hear you. I like to ask locals for recommendations. And sometimes, just wandering around neighborhoods can lead to great discoveries.
Asking locals sounds like a good plan. I always feel a bit shy about doing that, though.
It can be a bit intimidating, but most people are happy to help. Just approach with a smile and ask for their favorite spots. They'll often give you the best advice.
I'll try to be more confident. What about dealing with jet lag? That's always a struggle for me.
Jet lag can be tough. Try to adjust your sleep schedule a few days before you leave. Once you arrive, stay hydrated and, if possible, spend time in natural light. It helps reset your internal clock.
Adjusting my sleep schedule sounds doable. I'll start working on that. How do you handle language barriers?
A translation app is really handy. Also, learning a few basic phrases in the local language can go a long way. Even just saying hello and thank you in their language is appreciated.
I'll add some basic phrases to my travel prep. These tips are fantastic, Rose. Thanks so much.
You're welcome, Lucia. I'm excited for your trip. If you have any more questions or need more tips, just let me know.
Definitely. I'll keep you posted on how it all goes. Thanks again for the great advice.
Anytime. Enjoy your travels and don't forget to take lots of photos.
I will, and I'll make sure to share them with you.
Can't wait to see them. Safe travels.
Here are some listening comprehension questions to see how well you understood the conversation between Lucia and Rose. What do packing cubes help with? Packing cubes help organize clothes and keep everything compact. How can you keep important documents safe while traveling? You can keep important documents safe by using a travel wallet and having digital copies as a backup. What is a good way to handle jet lag? To handle jet lag, adjust your sleep schedule before you leave, stay hydrated, and spend time in natural light. So, did you get all the questions correct? Let us know in the comments section. Now, let's listen to a conversation between Wesley and Chris as Wesley shares some travel tips from his recent trip. Let's see how their conversation goes, and don't forget to note the highlighted words for their meanings at the end of this video. Let's begin.
Hey Chris, have you done any traveling recently?
Yeah, I just got back from a week in Japan. It was amazing. How about you?
Nice. I was in Italy a couple of months ago. Got some good travel hacks to share if you're interested.
Definitely. I could use some tips for my next trip. What's your top hack?
Well, for starters, I always use this app called Skyscanner to find the best flight deals. It helps me compare prices across different airlines and booking platforms.
Oh, I've heard of that one. I usually use Google Flights. But Skyscanner sounds good too. What about accommodation? Any secrets there?
Absolutely. I love using Airbnb for a local feel. But here's a tip. Check out the superhost status and read the reviews carefully. It makes a huge difference in getting a reliable place.
Good tip. I once stayed at a place that looked great online, but the experience was a disaster. I'll remember the superhost thing. What about getting around once you're there?
For public transport, I recommend downloading maps offline using Google Maps or City Mapper. You never know when you'll need them without internet access. And if you're renting a car, always use an international driving permit. Some countries require it.
I hadn't thought about the driving permit. I've mostly relied on taxis and ride shares. Speaking of which, have you ever tried using rideshare apps for longer trips?
Yes, it's a great way to avoid the hassle of traditional taxis. It's cheaper and you meet interesting people.
Sounds cool. I'll keep that in mind.
Also, I always carry a refillable water bottle and a portable charger. Staying hydrated and keeping your devices charged is crucial when you're on the go.
Great tips. I've learned the hard way about the importance of a portable charger. Anything else that's a must-have?
I always bring a small first aid kit. You never know when you might need it. And for international travel, having a good travel insurance policy is essential. It can save you a lot of trouble if something goes wrong.
Absolutely. I had a small medical emergency once and insurance was a lifesaver. Last question. Any recommendations for staying healthy while traveling?
Definitely. Try to stick to a routine as much as possible, like eating well and getting enough sleep. And if you're going to be walking a lot, invest in a good pair of comfortable shoes. Your feet will thank you.
That's a great point. Comfortable shoes can make or break a trip. Thanks for all these hacks, Wesley. I'm going to put them to good use.
No problem, Chris. If you ever need more tips or want to swap stories, just let me know. I'm always up for a travel chat.
Will do. And if you have any more hacks or need suggestions for your next trip, just ask.
Sounds like a plan. Enjoy your next adventure.
Thanks, you too.
Before we review the key vocabulary from these conversations, here are some listening comprehension questions to see how well you understood the conversation between Wesley and Chris. What app does Wesley use to find the best flight deals? Wesley uses the Skyscanner app to find the best flight deals. Why does Wesley recommend checking the superhost status on Airbnb? Wesley recommends checking the superhost status because it helps ensure a reliable place to stay. What is one item Wesley always carries to stay prepared while traveling? Wesley always carries a small first aid kit to stay prepared while traveling. So, how many questions did you get right? Let us know in the comment section. Now let's review the vocabulary from these conversations. First, we'll review some of the natural-sounding, everyday phrases used by native English speakers. Watch the video again after you study the vocabulary words to learn them even better and subscribe to see our other videos. Lifesavers. Things or people that provide crucial help in a difficult situation. Tourist traps. Places that are popular with tourists but often overpriced and not as good as local spots. Internal clock. Your body's natural sense of time that helps regulate sleep and wakefulness. Local feel. An authentic or true experience of a place, as if you were a local resident. Put them to good use. To use something in a helpful or effective way. Now let's review other key vocabulary. Compact. Taking up little space. Wrinkles. Small folds or lines in clothes. Jet lag. Feeling tired or out of sync with the local time after traveling long distances. Accommodation. A place to stay while traveling, like a hotel or rental. Travel insurance. A policy that provides coverage for unexpected issues while traveling. Were the conversations relatable? Try using these conversations with your family and friends. Thank you for watching the Learn American English channel, where you learn naturally so you can speak naturally. Please click the like button and subscribe to our channel to see more videos like this one.